Hey guys, Dr. Justin Marchegiani. Today we're going to be talking about how to slow down aging process. I'm going to give you my take on reducing and slowing down aging from a functional medicine and a nutritional perspective. I'm really excited to dive into this topic. This is very useful. I see lots of patients really at the heart of it. They have a lot of symptoms. Conventional medicine isn't helping. They see the spot treating and they're trying to get to the root cause so they can feel better. And then, of course, once they've overcome that, they want to age as gracefully as possible and have as much energy and physical strength as they age. So we're going to dive into that topic. So out of the gates here, first thing, put comments down below. Love to know what you guys are thinking. Make sure you subscribe and share with your family and friends. And let's dive in. So I'll put some notes up on screen here as I go along just to kind of give you guys a little bit more of an outline. If you like this style of me showing you notes on screen, please let me know. I appreciate it. So a couple things out of the gate I wanted to highlight. So big thing is we have to have optimal nutrition. That's going to be a big one, right? We need to have good nutrient levels. That's going to be really important. So a good paleo template out of the gates, always going to be foundational. Why a paleo template? Healthy meats, healthy vegetables, good healthy fats, ideally organic, clean. We want to avoid toxins. Toxins are going to accelerate aging. A lot of them impact the immune system, reproductive, and nervous system. Okay. We want nutrient density, right? Vitamin A, zinc, selenium, good healthy essential amino acids, right? You'll miss some of those if you're only relying on plants, by the way. Plus, when you become vegan vegetarian, you tend to rely on a lot more carby foods and you increase glycation, which sugar coats all your proteins, which then causes increase in oxidative stress. We got to reduce the inflammation. We got to improve the nutrient density, and we have to decrease the toxins, making sure foods are organic. Stay away from the processed omega-6, the processed hydrogenated vegetable oils. Again, these are the flours. These are the oils that you're going to get in the deep fryer. Not good. They're going to increase glycation. All right. So we talked out of the gates here. Toxins are a big one. We already talked about. Organic is super important. Got to reduce inflammation. Nutrient density is key, right? Vitamin A, vitamin D. Need that from also the sun or a supplement. You probably won't get enough in your food or sun. Vitamin E, vitamin K, right? K, especially K2, very helpful to get your calcium into the bone. So very important on that. Next, number 2 is glycation. So it kind of deals with number 1 because diet related, but we have to get our carbohydrates in check. If we're doing too much carbohydrates, we're going to be creating what's called insulin resistance. And when you have high levels of insulin, your cells become numb to it, and your body has a hard time pulling glucose into your muscle to either burn it or it puts it back into your fat cell and stores it. And so when all this glucose sits inside the bloodstream, you have high blood sugar levels. This is going to cause glycation. That blood sugar coats a lot of those proteins, and it's going to create what is known as glycation. So think of the creme brulee in the steakhouse restaurant, and essentially that is going to brown that tissue, brown that protein. And so when that browns your eyes or your vasculature in your fingers and toes, you're going to have decreased blood flow. You're going to have stress. You're going to have accelerated aging, so premature eye health issues. You're going to have ED, erectile dysfunction. It's going to impact performance. And then anytime you have blood flow issues, you have an increased risk for cardiovascular, strokes, heart attack, and neurological dementia, because dementia is thought of in a way as type 3 diabetes, because the enzyme that cleans up the plaque in the brain, that same enzyme is also responsible for cleaning up insulin. It's called the insulin degrading enzyme. It cleans up plaque. It also cleans up insulin. If it's so busy cleaning up insulin, it's going to have less ability to clean up the plaque in your brain. So keep that in the back of your head. So glycation, oxidation, keeping your blood sugar in check. Nutrients that will help that are going to be magnesium. They're going to be curcumin, good quality antioxidants, vitamin C, vitamin E, zinc are all going to help that. Again, keeping your carbohydrates in check as well. Being a little bit more ketogenic will help. Again, you don't have to be full on keto where it's only like meat and veggies or even full on carnivore. You could have some fruit. You could have a little bit of starch. It's going to depend upon how healthy you are metabolically, how active you are, and then you can just adjust that accordingly. So that's really important out of the gates. Let me keep rolling here, guys. So next, I would say sleep's a really important one. Why sleep? That's where your body regenerates. That's where you're going to tap into human growth hormone. So getting to sleep before midnight is going to be essential for growth hormone production. That's going to be where you heal your body, your physical structure. Again, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. will be where you tend to start to heal and turn over your neurotransmitters and help with psychogenic repair. So really important to dial in the sleep component so you can have that good, healthy repair. Also, we exist on this cortisol circadian pattern. So cortisol is higher in the morning and lower at night. So if our cortisol rhythm and our adrenals are off, you could have this reverse pattern where cortisol is up in the nighttime And that cortisol can be very stimulating. It's a glucocorticosteroid. So that high levels of cortisol could be throwing off your sleep. So if you have sleep issues, we have to look at good, healthy nutrients like magnesium. We have to look at that cortisol pattern. Do you have high cortisol at night? Are you in this kind of high cortisol state throughout the day? We have to look at our HPA axis, our hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. Is that stress? Is that overstimulated? We want to see where that lies so we can get to the root. Next year, out of the gate, also melatonin. Melatonin is made from serotonin. Serotonin is an amino acid made from 5-HTP or tryptophan. So we have to make sure we have good gut function. That kind of spills into from sleep to gut. Why is that important? Because all the nutrients to help our brain chemicals, help us sleep, to help our body, it all gets absorbed in the gut. So if we do not have good, healthy gut function, that's going to impact our nutrient levels because we have to have good absorption. 80% of your immune system is in your gut. Also, if you have leaky gut or gut permeability because you're eating inflammatory gluten and grains and processed food, that can exacerbate your immune system. And so really important, if you have gut permeability, increased risk for autoimmune conditions like Hashimoto's, type 1 diabetes, MS, irritable bowel disease like Crohn's or ulcerative colitis are also possible too. And then, of course, your probiotics are really important. Good, healthy bacteria levels in the gut play a major role because you have to eat good fermented foods to get those. And so if you're not eating good probiotic-rich foods, that could also impact healthy gut bacteria balance. Maybe you have more dysbiosis, more bad bacteria. Maybe you have a history of taking antibiotics that have also skewed and knocked down your good bacteria and caused this rebound overgrowth of bad bacteria. Next, movement, right? Movement's going to do a couple things. Muscle mass is really important. That helps your immune system. That helps with insulin sensitivity. It's really important for your balance. As you age, greater chance of having a fall and fracturing a hip or fracturing a bone. Once you start to not move, that plays a major role in osteopenia, weaker bones, sarcopenia, weakened muscles. Also, by moving, that stimulates the brain too. So brain health is intimately connected to movement. So if you want good brain health, you have to be moving. Also, your muscles are rich in mitochondria. So the more muscle density you get, the more mitochondria you get, which are the powerhouse of the cells. And moving stimulates growth hormone, which helps put on muscle, keeps you strong, helps your bones stay strong. So really important that we kind of dial all these areas in so we stay on top of it and we be healthy. So kind of recap out of the gate, big thing out of the gate, optimize nutrition, right? Anti-inflammatory, nutrient dense, low toxin. We got to decrease glycation, get your carbs and your insulin resistance in check. You can do a functional glucose tolerance test to see what's going on there, right? Fasting 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, ideally below 100 starting out. Hour one, 140 to 120 or below 120. Hour two, below 100, but definitely below 120. And then hour three, definitely below 100. So we want to make sure that blood sugar goes up a little bit and then right back down versus up and then stays. The faster it goes up and the longer it stays up, the more insulin and the more insulin resistance is happening under the surface. So we got to stay on top of that. Talked about the nutrition, talked about blood sugar, sleep, really important. Get to bed before midnight. Try to sleep at least 7 to 9 hours, but get to bed before midnight. The growth hormone is so important for your body healing and recovering. Gut function, 80% of your immune system, the major driving factor of autoimmune conditions. That's where you absorb all your nutrients too. And then movements, really important. Balance, fall prevention, stimulating your mitochondria, growth hormone production. And again, that's going to be a major impact for your immune system because that mitochondria, that stimulation and that amino acid reserve, because your muscles are nothing but amino acid storage, right? That's really powerful when your immune system is stressed. It can tap into that muscle if it needs to be as well. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please let me know. Put it in the comments below. Again, doing that outline, hopefully you guys find that helpful so you can follow along better. If you liked it, please let me know in the comments. If you want to dive in deeper, like you have health issues, you want to age more gracefully, let me know down below. You'll have a link down below where you can reach out and you can contact my office and you can schedule a functional medicine consult. I see patients worldwide that kind of dive into these issues every single day. We try to get to the root cause of what's happening. Is there a thyroid issue, a gut issue? Where's your diet at? Where's your mitochondria at? We'll look at nutrient levels. We'll get a window into everything under the hood and come up with a comprehensive plan to get to the root cause of what's happening. So link down below. You can reach out to my team and staff. Love to see your comments, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the topic. All right, guys, have a phenomenal day. Dr. J signing out. Peace.